Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys news: Brock Hoffman ready to seize his chance at the center position. The Cowboys' backup lineman has the next man up mentality. While the Dallas Cowboys offseason has been chaotic for some, for others it's been rather consistent since the abrupt end to the 2023 season in January. Of those in the latter group, you'll be hard-pressed to find a more consistent daily routine than what Brock Hoffman has been experiencing in the last 2 months. Whether it's training in Frisco with renowned offensive line trainer Duke Manyweather, doing Pilates twice a week, something he described as one of the hardest workouts of his life, or being in the facility at the crack of dawn to get a workout in, Hoffman has been training relentlessly in recent weeks to take the next step going into his third season. That routine caught a minor break last Thursday when he participated in the team's first ever STEM event for local boys and girls club students at the Star, where he ran a station teaching kids how to properly snap the ball. It was a fitting station for Hoffman, who took on the responsibility of starting at center early in the season against Arizona last year and is now staring at an open job in the middle of the Cowboys' offensive line going into the offseason after the departure of Tyler Biadasz. What may have seemed small on the surface, Hoffman's community effort was a clear depiction of the biggest thing he is working towards this offseason. "It's on my mind every day right now, to be honest with you," Hoffman said about the open starting spot. "I'm training like I'm ready to be that guy. I'm humbled. I've done everything that I've had to do. I've faced some adversity, being cut off the practice squad. I feel like that's all led to this moment, and I'm ready to do what I need to do to help this team win a championship." Stephen Jones' explanation of free agency inactivity likely won't please fans. Over the first week of free agency, the Dallas Cowboys' lack of action has left many scratching their heads. After owner Jerry Jones promised to go all in earlier in the offseason, the Cowboys have been the quietest team in free agency so far. The only outside free agent they've signed is linebacker Eric Kendricks, and their re-signings have been relatively low-key as well. Meanwhile, key players such as Dorrance Armstrong and Tony Pollard have moved on to sign multi-year deals with other teams. Even with Dallas not having much cap space, many fans have grown frustrated with the team's quiet approach to free agency thus far. According to COO Stephen Jones, son of Jerry Jones, there's a reason for that approach. The younger Jones cited an inflated market as a reason to stand pat in the early part of free agency. "I've always been of the ilk that in this first couple of days of free agency, you pay good players like they're great, you pay average players like they're good, and so on and so forth," Stephen Jones said. "Because the market's inflated in our mind." That's one opinion. The NFL draft is indeed Stephen's explanatory go-to. Jones said it's not frustrating to be a non-buyer because it means we've done a good job with the draft. "That's a sign in my mind that our organization, Will McClay, and the scouting department and the coaches that have been through here, we've done our job of developing players." However, Stephen's comments likely won't change the way many Cowboys fans feel. Baltimore Ravens hosting former Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup for visit. Former Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup would visit the Ravens on Thursday, according to NFL insider Aaron Wilson. Baltimore could be looking for a veteran to replace Odell Beckham Jr. on the depth chart. Dallas released Gallup last week. He had 266 catches for 3,744 yards and 21 touchdowns in 6 seasons with the Cowboys. He had his best season in 2019 when he had 66 catches for 1,107 yards and 6 touchdowns. Proposed Cowboys trade brings A.J. Brown-like receiver to Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys could be an ideal landing spot for a new number 3 wide receiver. As suggested by SB Nation's Blogging the Boys David Howman, one trade Dallas should pursue is involving Tennessee Titans wide receiver Treylon Burks. The Cowboys are obviously in the market for a new number 3 receiver after releasing Michael Gallup. Howman argues that Dallas' lack of quality depth at receiver, Jalen Tolbert would be the next man up, should lead to interest in Burks, who actually replaced A.J. Brown in Tennessee after they traded the star receiver to the Philadelphia Eagles. The team is optimistic about Jalen Tolbert, but not so much that they won't hedge their bets in other ways, writes Howman. And adding a former first-round pick that the Cowboys themselves were once interested in sounds like the exact type of move this team gravitates towards. Enter Treylon Burks, the 18th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft. The Titans shocked everyone by trading A.J. Brown and picking Burks to replace him, an impossible expectation to live up to. Howman also mentions that it should only cost a day 3 pick for the former first-round draft pick. Coming out of Arkansas, Burks was praised for his size, strength, and competitive spirit, writes Howman. Some poor athletic testing sullied his draft stock, but Burks drew interest from plenty of teams, including Dallas. Swapping a day 3 pick for the receiver now would be the perfect low-risk gamble to give Burks another shot in a new system. The 23-year-old Burks has been very disappointing over the first 2 seasons of his career. Given every opportunity to emerge as the Titans' #1 receiver, Burks has produced just 49 catches for 665 receiving yards and 1 touchdown during the first 2 years of his career. While it's true that the Titans haven't exactly been the most stable of organizations, they shifted from Ryan Tannehill to rookie Will Levis as the starting quarterback in 2023 and have now changed head coaches. Burks simply hasn't been very good early on in his NFL career. But a change of scenery, a more stable situation in Dallas under Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, could bring out the very best in the 6'2", 225-pound receiver. When factoring in that the Cowboys already have 2 established receivers in CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks, Burks could prosper with not as much defensive attention facing him. Although it's hard to imagine considering Burks' lack of production and Brown's resume, the third-year receiver was actually once compared to the guy he replaced when he was coming out of the draft. Via NFL.com's Lance Zierlein, big, smooth and natural, Burks possesses the versatility to operate from wherever you want and get to wherever you need no matter the competition, writes Zierlein. He's a mismatch receiver combining size, strength, and competitiveness similar to the Titans' A.J. Brown, but his speed testing at the NFL scouting combine did not meet expectations. Arkansas benefited by putting the ball in his hands from a variety of alignments, and there is no reason to believe NFL play callers won't benefit from doing the same. If the Cowboys can acquire the young receiver with a low draft pick, there's no reason they shouldn't explore a possible trade for Burks. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Treylon Burks? Leave your opinion in the comments.